Hello and welcome back to this painfully average playthrough of Battle for Middle-earth. I am DoubleV, and today we are handling West Emnet, which is another level with the Rohan lads.
West Emnet, the greatest region of Rohan, where lie the largest cities and fortifications of the Riddermark. Should these cities fall, their people will become refugees.
What I do like about this is like the little intros that Gandalf, or should I say Ian McKellen, gives. It's very nice. Gives a bit of extra meat to the bone, so to say, when it comes to getting to know Rohan a bit, because in the movie we're unfortunately not, or well, it's quite understandable that we're not introduced all too well with Rohan, because there's simply not enough time if you want to, you know, have a decent story. So as for the game here, this is the first level where I get to have one of these forts, which is pretty cool. And let me tell you, it's pretty needed. It's unlike, I guess you can say that the levels of the game are diverted into various categories, and this is one of the more difficult ones. At the same time, it's one of the most rewarding missions, as per what kind of rewards you get when you complete the mission, such as command power or one of those upgrade powers. And I still have some peasants lurking about. But yeah, I mean, the plan generally for these levels is, of course, to just, you know, prepare Eomer's force for Helm's Deep, because just like in the movie, Eomer isn't going to be. He is, I think, technically by now he is banished. I think that in the movie he was banished a bit later than he was. Yeah, I don't know, it's complicated, and I honestly can't remember really the deal with Eomer there. Just to interrupt here a bit, here are of course the pikemen, which is one of the more difficult units to deal with as Rohan, because they are really lethal when it comes to if you have cavalry units. What you can do is use these mounted archers, but as you can see, they're not that effective, and well, yeah. What I would like, the thing about these archers is that I want to have them like they are in the movies, the really cool archers, you know, when they ride as they shoot arrows. That would have been really cool. But I guess that would have been a bit overpowered. And to be honest, when that happens to me on the defending side, so to say, like in other games, for example StarCraft 2 or something, I think it's really annoying, so here I am wishing I could do it myself. But yeah, as you can see, it's really difficult, and actually I was a bit unprepared here, because yeah, I panic a bit, and I'm having to like charge them anyway. No, I actually managed to. No. Yes, they are kept on the outside. That was very lucky. The thing with those doors when you close them, because obviously, as you could see, I have access to big gates, which is pretty cool. I don't have to build them myself, which I do like. The problem being that it's kind of like unclear. Like when you close the door, it's a bit unclear as when you can still enter. It's the same in Helm's Deep later, when you have the big gate. And you also get quite a lot of gates with when you play as Gondor.
Keep a watchful eye. Follow my lead! We are here to protect our Keep these lands safe! The enemies encountered! Strike swiftly!
So yeah, I'm really having to keep an eye out here for if there should be any pikemen returning, because the pikemen are just so lethal towards... I mean, it would be one thing if I had a bit more mixed units here. Of course I could have mixed more infantry and stuff, but to be honest, I don't want to, because this is Rohan, and I feel like I just want to have a big horse army, a mounted army. It just makes a lot more sense to me, and is more fun. Whereas if you, for example, were playing the multiplayer, you would probably try to mix a bit more what kind of units you were putting on the field.
We ride! Keep these lands safe! Set forth! Go with haste! Wretched creatures!
You can see those crossbowmen, they are actually armored, which means that they don't cave in for just a single wave of hitting them with the Rohirrim charge. You also have to attack them a second time.
We ride! Follow my lead!
Ooh, that's a nasty combo of both pikemen and archers. That's basically... And then they use that speed and attack damage bonus they have, I believe. As you can see, it still kind of works to charge into pikemen, but it's really not recommended. And to be honest, if you charge them head on, it's not going to work. But I managed to kind of catch them while they were kind of well, when they were not quite directed towards my units.
Gather your weapons. A darkness covers our lands. Now is the hour. Keep these lands safe.
Probably should have waited with the heal until I got those units back, but hey, this isn't some kind of flawless video. Ooh, and I think those are fully upgraded spearmen. They have those red pikes, and they have the armor and everything, so... There's kind of like, if you notice, there's a couple of like... Oh, I didn't manage to select those units in time, so they're pretty much done for. Yeah, you can see they just slaughter them. No chance.
We ride! Follow my lead! We ride! Set forth! Gather your weapons! We're here to protect our lands. Swiftly! We must defend our
Going for some upgrades now, which I haven't really done before in this campaign. I just kind of want to grab some armor upgrades, because as the enemy is upgrading, we should be too. Oh, and they were really fast here with coming in. Ooh, but somehow I managed to knock them down. And yeah, this actually worked out pretty okay, considering I think I lost just a few Rohirrims in the hunt for those pikemen, which has to be considered somewhat success. And I try building a few farms outside the walls where I've destroyed enemy encampments, but it's mainly just for show. There's no real... I didn't really expect to be keeping them, but it's also quite good because then you know roughly where the enemy is. You get a bit more, and you know, you keep them busy.
Men of Rohan. A darkness covers our land. Rohirrim.
That the one eye ability. I'm not I can't remember what that ability does. I think it's mainly just a reconnaissance ability, so you get to see what the enemy is doing. But it also, as you can see, my riders are like cowering on the back of their horses, so it's a bit of a fear thing too. But again, I'm not entirely sure how it works.
Set forth! Purge them from these lands! Follow my lead! Away!
I have quite an impressive Rohirrim force going on at the moment. And I better close those gates. As you can see on the minimap, there's some kind of enemy lurking around the left side of my fortress too. I don't think I see them here, but... Ooh. Here's where the Rohirrim charge kind of like loses a bit of its effect, because the frontline horses are gonna get hit constantly, so you're gonna lose speed or power, and it's not gonna be as effective as it perhaps is when you just charge like one set of units.
Keep a watchful eye! Set forth! Here! Keep a watchful eye! Here! Away! Now is the hour!
Some left behind treasure that I think the enemy left.
Keep these lands safe! Away!
Hey! It's the enemy! They're here! The enemy has settled here already!
Here! We ride!
One thing that I would have liked a bit with this game was a bit more... I would have liked more diversity in terms of the mounted units, because as you can... maybe you can tell that all of these units who I can train that are mounted, they are like those royal guards, the sort of they're kind of like the special units in the movie. When here we have double-bladed swordsmen who are very nasty, but kind of a pushover anyway with Rohirrim. But yeah, they'll make a return in later levels too, and they're quite nasty to be running into.
Keep these lands safe.
But yeah, as I was saying about the archers, or the mounted units, is that I would have liked some just like more regular and cheaper units, and for these units that I have now to be kind of like slightly elite units, because for example, when Eomer encounters Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli in Rohan, and they have their little conversation just after the Uruks that kidnapped Merry and Pippin have been brought down.
Be on guard! To the castle!
Ooh, this is tight. And I'm actually letting the peasants out.
This way, my friends!
Oh, this is cool. I'm not being very nice.
It's the enemy! Quick cover, men!
Which shows you just how useless the peasants are. But hey, I'm looking up more population cap, possibly. No, not really. I get 10, which I don't think is enough for any Rohirrim riders. Oh well. But yes, again, sorry, I'm being kind of I'm interrupting myself here, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Hope you don't mind. That when they meet Eomer out on the Rohan fields, he has with him a lot of... They seem to be just like sort of the people he could gather. They don't all seem to be professional soldiers. They seem to be sort of a collection of volunteers and stuff like that who have volunteered on the side of Eomer because they are... Well, it's a bit of a like political opposition, you could almost say, because essentially what what Eomer's whole banishment is about is that you have Eomer not liking the leadership's attitude towards Saruman, and he believes that Grima Wormtongue and company aren't really telling the truth about Saruman, or rather he knows it, so and that's why he's also banished by, well, officially King Theoden, but also, you know, technically Grima Wormtongue. So I would have preferred if there were a bit more, like, if you could see that a bit more, because right now you have kind of the elite units who, for example, are very rare in Helm's Deep in the movie. I think only like Theoden's bodyguards or like close men have these kind of like scale mail armors and stuff like that, and the cool helmets. You mainly see people who have very sort of provisorial or provisoric armor. Ooh, this is nasty.
Keep a watchful eye.
Die, foul creatures! Let's go now! Men of Rohan! Forces are under attack! Attack! Back to the castle! Be on guard! Yeah!
Men of the Riddermark! Go in haste! Away! We return home! Now is the hour! Away!
Riders of the mark!
The darkness covers our
Slowly but surely I'm building up my Rohirrim force to quite a respectable size here, and I'm also going to be starting to upgrade. If you buy that banner carrier upgrade, what it's going to do is give you a bit more, like when you have a banner carrier per battalion, which is like per 5 or whatever units, basically during time, or with time, if you've lost a couple of units, you will regain them. Why? I don't really know. Usually banners in games are usually like they give a bonus to your attack or something like that. But that's not really how it works here.
Follow my lead! Go in haste! Keep these lands safe! Go in haste! Keep these lands safe! Slay them all! Follow my lead!
As you can see, I would say that they're very effective against cavalry, these double-bladed swordsmen, but I guess they're not. I think they cost quite a lot, and they don't really give that much bang for the buck, so to say.
Gather your weapons!
Oh yeah, and as you purchase armor, for example, for the Rohirrim standard pikemen, or spearmen, or whatever you want to call them, they get shields, which is pretty cool. So it's not just like a, you know, you can actually see the upgrade, which I like, and then the weapon upgrades glow blue, as opposed to the enemy or evil side who get like a red glow on their weapons when they upgrade. Which is kind of like, I don't know, Star Wars or something. The upgrades are really useful, actually. I think the armor upgrade is about 60% extra armor or something like that, which is of course a whole lot, and will give you a lot more charge durability, so to say. And I have a lot of resources right now, so this is, you know, as much as this I'm taking my time this level, you kind of want to do that to be able to upgrade. I mean, I probably technically could have survived for longer, but it's also a matter of, it's not so much a matter of just winning the level here, like in a lot of other RTSs. You also have to save your units, because your units will be the base, like, you know, the units you have left over this round will be what you have to start with next round, so you kind of have to think long term as well, which I like. That's probably what I like the most about these kind of like regular campaign battles. That I mean, I know that, okay, Helm's Deep is gonna come pretty soon, and I need to have a good reinforcement for that level.
Die, foul creatures! Shut out!
Rohan must stand. Draw back! Reclaim this land for
So yeah, saying again about the banners to... Ooh.
Our lands are under siege!
Damn, they managed to get in. Saying again about the banners, for example, if you have one battalion, which is like 5-6 horsemen, and there's just like one survivor, technically you'll be able to revive all those 4 or 5 others in time, which is very useful. So yeah, here I'm at the famous sort of stalemate, who can destroy the other's base first, and I think it took a pretty hilarious turn, as we'll see. The enemy also managed to destroy my gate. They had a battering ram, which was pretty cool, but unfortunate for me. And yes, they managed to destroy my base actually, which is not very good. I didn't really expect that, to be honest. I thought the gates would be kind of... I've seen that they have, or remember that they used to have ladders and stuff like that, so they were technically able to climb my walls, just like in, again, Helm's Deep. But I didn't think they would be having battering rams, because they kind of destroy gates with just like a few pushes, just like real battering rams.
Keep these lands safe. Reclaim this land for the king.
Yeah, there you can see one of the two ladder boys who hold up a ladder.
They have mocked us too long.
You'd think that they would pretty much drop the ladder on the Rohirrim and make a run for it, but no, it doesn't really work like that in this game.
Keep these lands safe.
So here I decide to do the old switcheroo, where I basically... Hey, I'll just steal the enemy's base and build my own, because they destroyed mine. So basically we've just switched bases, but I think I'm in the lead anyway, as far as surviving units go.
Set forth. Reclaim this land for the king. Rally to me. We ride. Set forth.
I seem to like sending in these double-bladed swordsmen in pairs for some reason.
Draw back, wretched creatures! Away!
Gather your weapons!
Rohirrim! We ride! We ride! Rohan must stand!
I don't know if you could tell there, but I had armored units riding in head-on, so to say, and they did a lot better job at surviving than they would have if they didn't have the armor.
The enemy is near. Riders of the mark! Away! Away! Keep these lands safe! The farm is ready! Attack!
So yeah, now we enter a part of the level where, again, it's just about finding all the enemy's bases and units and destroying them, which I find a bit tedious, but just bear with me. And, you know, it is a Let's Play, but it's not supposed to be like a glorified Let's Play where you kind of like just see the good things about the game. I also want to display the things that were a bit frustrating, because I just think that's fair.
watchful eye. Now is the hour.
Those orc laborers are actually really nasty towards Ents, because they do work as wood choppers or whatever, so I guess it makes sense.
Our forces are under attack! Riders of the mark! Keep a watchful eye. Keep these lands safe! Riders of the mark!
We're ready to ride out.
Rohirrim! Keep these lands safe!
Rohirrim! Let's go now.
Riders of the mark!
The battle awaits.
Rohirrim! A darkness covers our land. There! More of them! Hold your ranks! Move over! Follow my lead!
I think that's the enemy there. Ha! Draw them out!
The enemy is near! A darkness covers our land.
The battle awaits! Ha!
Let us hunt
So you can
some
have
more.
2 armor upgrades for the Rohirrim actually. You have like the body armor and the shield armor, so
Keep these lands
when you have them both, that's pretty powerful. I don't think I upgrade them as much as I should in this level actually. I kind of slacked off a bit there. In my defense, I thought I would get more opportunities to do it later. But I guess I misjudged the amount of missions left before Helm's Deep, because there's not that many missions left as Rohan where you can sort of, this is one of the last where you just, oh, and there you have some ladders, and they're trying to besiege my fortress again. Here we go again. But it's one of the last missions as Rohan where you, like one of the last regular ones, because the ones we have left are pretty much all about, like a bit special missions, like saving Merry and Pippin. Spoilers, but you should pretty much know what's happening anyway. And of course Helm's Deep, which is kind of like the grand finale of the Rohan campaign, because once you're done with... Man, those archers were fast at climbing, by the way.
Follow my lead!
That's very impressive.
Away! Follow my lead!
But yeah, once you're done with Helm's Deep, you don't... I mean, those units are the basis for what kind of reinforcement you get in Minas Tirith, or Minas Tirith later. That's another thing. When I was a kid, I used to play... Or I used to watch those... or that, I should say, there only was one, as far as I know, movie, like the animated one, and I don't mean the sort of kiddified, slightly anime-esque movie, I mean the, I think it was called Ralph Baker or something like that. It's like an animated film that was basically the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers comprised into one film, one long animated film, and it was, at the time, when we didn't have anything to compare with, I remember it as being quite good, and it was one of the things that sort of increased my interest in Lord of the Rings, because I had already gotten the book read to me by my parents, but then I actually got to, kids like seeing things, and I remember the orcs in that movie were very sort of creepy. They did this kind of like weird half animated, half live action stuff that it has some kind of name. It's very rare and wasn't used very often, but it was very cool. But yes, in that movie, I believe they used to say Minas Tirith, so that was my impression of what it was called for a long time, until they started saying Minas Tirith. I also think they said Minas Tirith in, there's another strategy game based on Lord of the Rings, but it's based on the book that's called War of the Ring, which actually I might do a playthrough of if anyone's interested, because it was quite a good and interesting game where, as I said, it's based on the book. So for example, instead of having Eomer rescue, like coming to the rescue at Helm's Deep, you have Erkenbrand, just like in the movie, or like in the book, because in the book Eomer was present during the Battle of Helm's Deep, but whereas here he's just kind of like the reinforcer.
Riders of the mark. Die, foul creatures!
Those white things that hit the Uruk-hai are meant to be arrows. I think they might as well have like skipped to animate that or whatever, because I don't think it gives anything. It doesn't really look very good, and I think it probably took a bit of resources to be able to pull it off. So as far as I'm concerned, they might as well have skipped that. Trying to like desperately upgrade the last minute here of the level. They had a lot of siege units made here. 2 ladders and a battering ram that are essentially useless. Well, except that one, but they're useless against just like units. I don't know what my archers were doing there. Really slow.
Onward! Ride out! Be on guard!
So yeah, this level is quite sloppy. You know, don't be mean to me. I didn't mean to be so sloppy with the gameplay, but I just couldn't be bothered, because it's... I mean, if I wanted to like min-max the performance here, I wouldn't have had as much fun, because part of the fun to me is just like not taking it too seriously and just kind of like playing it through simply. I like the slaughterhouses that the orcs have. They look very just like a regular mortar orc carrying a lob of meat or whatever.
Ride out! Strike forward! Fire! Flank them! Don't fall behind!
See, those arrows just aren't doing any good.
Cut out!
And they kind of like stick out in the air and stuff like that.
Strike forward! Stay sharp!
We must defend our country. Rohirrim!
Men of Rohan!
Leave none standing! Attack! Rally to me! They have mocked us too long! They are gone! Rohan must stand!
So finally I managed to complete the level. Destroy all the enemy bases.
The heroes of Middle-earth are victorious.
Yes, Gandalf is right, with this generic win message that I think he also says for Gondor. Oh well. Ooh, and I actually managed to gain a total victory here, considering I met the goals for the level. Or objectives. So yeah, that was West Emnet for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you the next time for a Fangorn level. See you then.
The power of Isengard has not waned.